Welcome to Friday and welcome to another episode of the world famous Live from the Lanes. And in this episode, I'm going to take you back to earlier this week as we take a look at the current week's sales. Sandwiched in between this week's and next week's sales, we celebrate 6 years at G3 with our trusty head of IT, Nick Case. We then move into next week discussing Monday's Elite sale and also outlining what else is going on throughout the week here at Castleford and over at our Leeds site. And then finally, I will bring the live stream to a close, but not before I bring on this week's special guest, which is auctioneer and specialist vehicle expert, Anthony Aspinall. And he's going to give us his top picks for next week's sale at Leeds. First up, this week we saw 3 more extremely strong sales with Motability, Tesla and Evogo leading the way with their prime stock, and AvailableCar, Oodle and many more dealer and finance houses making up our 7k and under sales. And here's a little something for you to think about. What was the most popular car manufacturer sold over the last 7 days at G3? So leave your answer down below in the comments and I will let you know when you get it right. Now, whilst you're thinking about that, I'll tell you about what's coming up next because I caught up with head of IT and fellow Nick Case this week. Nick celebrated 6 successful years here at G3 and I wanted to give him a call up to wish him happy anniversary. Morning Nick, how are you doing today?
Morning Nick, I'm good thanks. How are you?
I'm very good thanks. I'm glad you said Nick back.
Of course, you've got to. We've got 3 Nicks, so you've got to appreciate the Nickness.
Happy anniversary from everyone at G3.
Oh, thanks very much.
So, would you like to start by telling us your name and what you do here at G3?
Yep, so I'm Nick Case and I am the head of IT at G3. I joined G3 6 years ago now as a junior developer. And I pretty much just worked my way up through the ranks since then. I've just kept my head down, got on with the job, learned everything I could about the business and what we do. And I think that's really helped me to sort of work my way up.
So what are your key responsibilities at G3?
So I manage the day-to-day development and IT systems that we've got at G3. That includes the website, the live bidding platform, the back office and everything that we've got going on at G3 to help promote everything that we do. We've got 4 other developers. We've got Lee, Ed, Kyle and Paul, and we're all currently working on improvements to the website and live bidding platform, a new back office system for our staff and the business to use, as well as some exciting new products for our customers and vendors. What
do you like to do in your spare time, Nick?
Yep. So in my spare time, I like to cook. I'm a big gamer, particularly during lockdown. I got a lot into sim racing. So I do that most nights.
Could you tell me something about yourself that nobody knows?
I was going to sound a bit like a humble brag, but I passed my driving test the first time with no faults.
No minors whatsoever?
No, I've got the paper to prove it still.
That is fantastic. Go and get it then. It says 0. Yeah, that says 0. Very, very good. Well done. And finally, Nick, would you like to tell us what is the best thing about working at G3?
For me, the best thing about working for G3 is the great team of staff around us and also the massive array of projects that we get to work on and involve ourselves in with some really interesting technologies.
So thanks for giving your time up for me today, Nick. Really, really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for sparing a few minutes with me this week, Nick. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Anyway, I'll just take a moment just before I talk about next week's sales. So let's take a look at next week's sales where we've got 4 huge sales across Castleford and Leeds. That's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at Castleford and obviously Wednesday at Leeds. In our Monday Elite sale, we predominantly sell prime vehicles that are typically valued at 7k and above, with Motability leading the way this week. We also have some beauties in from Tesla, Zenith and Evogo too. But before moving on to Tuesday, I'd like to bring something to your attention. because in on Monday, we've got a batch of 6 69-plate Tesla Model 3 performances, all under 25k miles, with many of them being around 15k on the clock. And they come in a range of colours from white to blue to black. They're currently working their way through our inspection bay as we speak. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link to them in the description and you can go and take a closer look because I know you're going to want to. Tuesday's essential sale typically ranges from 3k all the way up to 7k. And finally, if you're after some really great value cars, Thursday's economy sale sees us offer off stock typically valued at under £3,000. So as always, whatever your budget, massive or moderate, we have the stock for you to go and peruse. Anyway, let's move on to the last section of the video just before I leave you. And this week's special guest for our hot picks is auctioneer and specialist vehicle expert Anthony Aspinall. And Anthony will be around all day Wednesday at Leeds, as well as auctioning, to talk you through WAVS, LCVs, bikes and non-runners. But he also knows a lot about electric vehicles as he is our EV champion. And talking of EVs, take it away, Anthony.
Okay, so first up, Nick, we have the LCV. It is a Nissan ENV200, which means it's fully electric. On a full charge, it can do 185 miles. If you're going further than that in a day, you're working too hard. Okay, then we move on to the Motability section. We've got 168 vehicles on Wednesday, and I've picked this one out. It's a 21-plate Transit Custom, and something a bit special about this one is it's a passenger up front conversion, which means the wheelchair user can actually sit next to the driver rather than behind them. And finally, I've picked out 2 bikes. This one is a Kawasaki VANS 1600, which is a cruiser, and to say these bikes normally do 3,000 to 5,000 miles a year, for this one's age, it's only done 4,000 miles. Secondly, Nick, I've picked out this 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗲 RS4. It's an Italian 125cc. It is learner legal, so while you're learning, you can still look like a bad boy.
So thank you for that input about next Wednesday's sale, Anthony. I personally also love the dry quips. Anyway, that's us done. All done for the week. So thank you very much for joining us. I will be here every week live from Castleford at 11 a.m. Also, our sale on Monday at 10 a.m. Make sure you don't miss it. Either come here to our amazing site at Castleford or join us online. Thanks a lot. See you next week.